Welcome to Morning Message for February the 9th. Several years ago, I met a young man who happened to mention that he had an aunt, and his aunt had a toaster. And this wasn't just any old toaster, this was a special toaster because this toaster created the image of Winnie the Pooh in the bread that it was toasting, which I was kind of intrigued by. And apparently, according to the conversation that we had, Winnie the Pooh wasn't the only animated character you could get to be toasted, or whose image could be toasted into a piece of bread. You get Mickey Mouse, Abraham Lincoln, whatever. Apparently there are all sorts of these things. Well, as I heard that, I was thinking about how important bread, and particularly toast, is for me in the morning. As rarely does a day go by when I don't have a piece of toast to start the day. A bagel, a toasted bagel, raisin bread, whatever. I remember growing up, in the north end of Dartmouth, there was a Ben's Bakery down at the bottom of Simon Street, and every couple of years there'd be a field trip. Our class would go, and the smart kids in the class, because we were allowed to take a loaf of bread home with us, smart kids in the class would get the sandwich loaf, which was always a little bit larger. Some kids got the regular Ben's loaf. I was given strict instructions when I left that morning from home to bring home a bag of raisin bread. It was the smallest, but it was by far the best of all the loaves of bread that Ben's made. Anyway, I like toast in the morning. Sometimes when I'm traveling, there might be a free continental breakfast available, and you can get eggs and sausage and whatever. But if there's not a toaster, I somehow feel as though I've been let down significantly. The Charlottetown Christian Council has a prayer breakfast. Didn't have it this year, but have it every year. When there's not a pandemic going on. During the week of prayer for Christian unity, and it's put on nicely at a local hotel, and there might be 100 or more people there. It's quite a nice little celebration, and you get your fancy bit of scrambled eggs there, and a piece of ham, a sausage, a couple of slices of bacon, your little warmed up bits of fruit, orange or whatever. And there's bread available, like there's a basket of bread and might be some pastries in there, but there's not usually toast. And I was thinking, that's weird. How can you have a breakfast without toast? That's just one of the peculiarities about me, liking to have toast in the morning, of course. Anyway, all of this is going through my head, and the conversation with this young guy is still going on. There are other people in the room, so they're carrying the conversation, but I'm distracted thinking about how much I like toast, and it doesn't really matter to me. I don't want an image of Winnie the Pooh or anything like that on my toast. I like evenly toasted toast. Sometimes the bread is too large for the toaster, so the top part doesn't really get toasted. I'm okay with that. But I don't want the toaster to deliberately toast some parts of the bread more than other parts of the bread in order to create some kind of weird image of Winnie the Pooh or Abraham Lincoln. That's what's going through my head, right? And eventually I come back to the conversation, and this guy that I'm talking with is still talking about his aunt, right? But I'm not sure how many aunts this guy has. I'm not sure that we're still talking about the same aunt. So I say to him, are you talking about that aunt of yours who likes to have poo on her toast? Well, naturally, that got a big laugh, and I must say I was laughing as I was saying it, because kind of weird when you put it in terms like that. And I apologize if that joke's offended anybody. And this is where, I make a connection between the story I told and something, from Scripture or from our faith tradition or about the pandemic or whatever. Not today. I just wanted to share that story with you because I think it's a funny thing. So rather than struggling to try to find some connection between that story and our faith, let me just say I hope that story brought a bit of a laugh for you today. And God bless.